Good morning from Guam. I'm using my new laptop, which is something that's exciting for me. Um, and a theme that's been arising in the last, I'd say it's about a week and a half, that keeps coming through all the work that I'm doing and all the connections I've been making is about our root system. And we can use the simple metaphor of the tree and its root system and imagine it running into the earth. And so I thought it would be fun to explore this theme and see how it's impacting your current life, perhaps in your work setting, or maybe it's bigger than that, more into your lifestyle. So I have been away in the States, and I am coping with being so far away from my parents who are aging. They are 89 and 90. And we had a really special time celebrating my dad's 75th Kentucky Derby. And I had a graduation. My youngest son graduated from Oberlin College. And I also went to my 40th reunion at Sweetbriar College, which was very special. And a movement that I have discovered, and I used it when I went to my college as well, but I used to go do it in the park before I was leaving New Zealand to come to Guam. And, this might work for you where you are right now. It might not work at all. So what I have loved doing is really laying in like an X position. It's not so nice on the floor and the carpet, although if I had a really nice wood floor, it would probably be really nice. But if I'm lying on the floor like this, and I can turn this way and talk to you a little bit about it, is that for me, I can really feel the front of my belly and the hips and that connection through my umbilical cord, which is how we were first deeply connected to another person, was feeling that umbilical cord. So for me, if I really want to feel a place and I want to feel a grounding in a place, I lay in this position. So when I was at Sweetbriar recently, I did this up at Monument Hill. Anybody from there who knows it. And so I could just really feel what it felt like in the earth. So I'll keep talking to you this way, because if I put my face down, you're not going to hear me. So if this position feels good for you, you can lie here and really belly breathe into your pelvis, into your belly, into your rib cage, into your chest. You can really allow yourself to begin to feel that pulsation into the ground, into the earth. And I feel that this position is less vulnerable than when we lay on our back and expose our front side. But if you feel more comfortable doing that, please feel free to do it. So when you're here, how does you relate to gravity? So we'll go through 3 different body positions and try to feel our root system. So the first one is here, into the earth. Where do you feel rooted? Do you feel rooted in the pelvis or not? Can you imagine roots growing out of all areas of your body into the ground? Maybe they're different sizes, maybe they're different textures, different colors, different shapes. Or maybe you just want one really large root. But I also find that there's little roots that come out. But if you really just want to focus on that primary umbilicus root, you can really do that. Now, some of you, if this feels really uncomfortable because that was not a good experience, or you feel
that this is too regressive of an experience, please do not do it, or lay on your back or sit up, whatever feels more comfortable. But this is a place that you can spend some time just imagining that root system. So I'll give you a minute to just feel into that. And then if you want to, I feel really secure in that one. You may not. So if you want to lay on your back, you can do that. If it's easier to bend the knees with the feet on the floor, you can feel the rootedness here. Now, this would be more into your back, into your pelvis, into your feet and your head. So you can do the same imagining here as well, if that feels right to you. I have my hands on my pelvis. Now, another way to feel this is just to, sit comfortably and feel it through your sit bones. Your sit bones are those bony bits at the end of your pelvis. And, if you're working with clients, this might feel the safest way to feel a root system, or even standing just through the feet. So I'm just offering this as possible ways for you to explore it. But remember to take care of yourself. And if you need to speak to somebody else, you've got whatever support networks you do, or feel free to send me a message. So here, as you feel into the root system, you really want to feel how those sit bones really anchor down and grow into roots. It may be that you like feeling the tailbone just grow a tail, and that becomes a root. Whatever works for you. You might start feeling roots from the thighs. You might feel one large root. You might feel multiple roots. So we'll start a little bit of movement exploration from this position, because I think that this is one of the safer positions, perhaps standing or sitting in a chair with the feet on the floor. So that's another place to feel rootedness. So once you feel that rootedness, is there any kind of sensation? Just notice if there's any sensation. Do you feel like more lifted in the spine, or do you feel sort of a pulsation? I mean, just let yourself notice what you notice. And there's no right way or wrong way in this. And as you feel that root system, it may be that you start to feel a little bit of flow or movement in the body. And so I'm just feeling like, okay, I'm really rooted down here. And again, this would be like really feeling that stability in the lower body, that I really want to bring my upper body and find some flow, find some stretch, find a little bit of movement. So if that feels right for you to start exploring, then you can. If for some reason you start to move and you lose that rootedness, just go back, feel that rootedness, and maybe you just slow down or make that movement a little slower, or just closer into the body. It can have a little quickness to it, but it might be closer into the body and you still feel that rootedness. So what's going to make you feel really rooted? So when I'm shaking like this, I can really feel myself rooted into the ground. So that's for me right now. This might not work for you. And then if I rock in my pelvis too, I can really feel how that rootedness then allows me to move a little more in my pelvis. So you can play with a little bit of movement there, and going back to that root and really feeling that or finding that stillness again, and then moving again. So just do as little or as much as feels right for you. So for me, I can really feel my sit bones and still go into this core distal pattern with my upper body a bit, or my moving my upper body, having some stability in my lower body, but you can see my legs are starting to want to move. So now I'm really going to want to go into a little bit of core distal, even though I still have that groundedness and rootedness in my pelvis. So this could be a simple way, maybe it's not simple, but a way to start exploring rootedness with your clients that you're working with, or even yourself between sessions, between your work. When you have a busy day, you might just take a little time, sit in your chair, sit on the floor, and just feel into that rootedness, and then how the movement can come from this rootedness. I know a person who does some lovely guided visualizations around our chakra system, and she really describes that, what she calls the big tap root into the earth, and then the little roots that go off of it. So if that's useful to you, you can use that as well. So we're not quite doing as much movement today, but here's a few ideas to get you started to explore your own rootedness. And sometimes we need this theme a little bit more in our life because maybe we have a lot of change going on. Maybe we've moved, shifted. That's why I started to lay on my belly in the park near my house in New Plymouth, just to feel that groundedness. And it was very nourishing to me while I was going through the big move of getting here. So, hope something in today's live is useful. And Gandalf the cat decided to make his appearance as well. So thank you for exploring with me today. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, wherever it is in your part of the world. Thank you for watching or joining me.